All right. Good afternoon. It is a sunny afternoon today. Welcome to the Success Series. This is the third and this is going to be the third and fourth session for today. May I ask if present na po si Architect Jess?
Yes, Sir Juan, he's around.
Yes, opo, opo. Uh, Clear naman po ang audio.
Yes, Sir Juan, very clear.
Yes, okay. Okay, once again, good it is a sunny afternoon and it is the perfect time to start our success series nga ano. And for now, our topic for today is the BroTech or the broker architect nga ano. So elevating real estate through architectural awareness and the next session, this is for 3 to 4 p.m. is the real estate taxation with attorney Tin Simbran. Ano? Yes, now we can proceed now. My name is Juan Fernando Asuncion. I am the PRO of Enrea Metro Rizal. And to start this program, I'm going to pass the mic to Miss Mary Rose Permites for our prayer. Ma'am Mary Rose.
Yes, Sir Juan, may I invite everyone to pray this afternoon. Let us all pray. Our most precious Heavenly Father, we come before you with humble hearts, and we're very grateful for this opportunity to gather together for the for the continuous series of our e-learning hub for real estate practitioners and those preparing for the broker's exam. We praise you, Father, for your goodness and faithfulness in our lives. Father, we lift up to you our speaker for this afternoon, Architect Jess Chua and Attorney Tin Simbran. We ask for your wisdom and knowledge to be upon them as they lead and share their insights during this session. We also thank you for each member of the audience. Bless them with understanding, focus, and receptive heart. May this session be fruitful and may your name be glorified through everything that we will be shared and learned. Lord, we dedicate this e-learning hub to you. May it be a place where your truth is revealed and your calling in our profession is continually remembered. Help us to lift everything to you, recognizing that all our skills, knowledge, and efforts come to you. Father, we're also remembering our friends across abroad, Father God, for what is happening right now. Bless them and protect them. We praise you, Lord, for the lives of one another, for this time, for everyone, for this great opportunity that we could have this afternoon, and for your continuous guidance and grace. May everything we do bring honor to your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Opo. Next up, we have the Lubang Hira. Apologies. Okay, now we are going to play a clip. To learn more about Enrea, let us watch this video. Okay, next up, this is the Enrea Metro Rizal recruitment video presentation. Okay, that was Enrea Metro Rizal's recruitment video, no? This Enrea Metro Rizal is a one-stop trade organization where every licensed professionals relating to real estate are welcome to join. Okay, for the opening remarks, do we have here immediate past president Ray Dirain?
Ako?
Yes, sir. Press Joy was supposed to give this opening remarks, but she's unable to join now. She will join later po. For opening remarks for Architect Jez and Attorney Simbran.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes po, clear.
Yeah, congratulations and welcome to this Zoom meeting of Revlex. I believe it is an education project, education committee project, and I'm sure President Choi is very proud and happy about these undertakings. Gaya nga nasabi ni Trustee Mayan, is one for all for one. Let's all be proactive and let's do whatever is good for our chapter for the momentum of being the best. So, welcome everybody. Sorry biglaan, di ko alam kung papasok ko lang. And welcome everybody and congratulations all trustees involved and the committee involved. Thank you very much for having this education platform. Thank you. Welcome.
Okay, that was President Ray Dirain, or immediate past President Ray Dirain of NREA Metro Rizal. All right. So now we can start our program. No, maybe some of you are uh, connected with the two lecturers today. Si Architect Jess and Attorney Simbrand. No, uh, and that was uh, uh, then the real estate compliance. Before, 2 weeks ago, we had Mr. Victor Solidum presenting the condominium concepts, and last week we have Engineer Teddy Dalope, no? So somehow yung ito nga ang mga industry experts, no? So nakikita niyo naman na yung pattern. Then somehow connected sila sa NREA Metro Rizal, which is an advantage din, no? For everyone, of course. These are seasoned lecturers then at the same time. Apo. Okay. Do we have here Architect Jess?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Ayan. Apo, ito po yung poster nyo, no? Si Brotech. I believe this is broker architect, no? Po.
Let's see.
Okay. Apo, happy to be here sa session natin. We are currently 27 participants po, and I believe more are coming pa po. So I think we can now proceed.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Let me turn over the mic to you, Architect Jess.
thank you so much, PRO Juan. So let me share my screen. There is some. Yeah. Right. The- Okay. Handa na po ba tayo? Are we prepared? Lalong-lalo na yung mga ating nagre-review at yung nagre-refresh naman. Let's let's have a enjoyable session. Relax lang kasi yung first and two session was really sobrang marami yatang mga memories or mga items na i-memorize, ano? So I'll begin. So this is my topic, no? The broker as an engineer or as an architect. So elevating the real estate practice through architectural awareness and compliance. I'm Architect Jesus Chua and I'm a real estate broker and appraiser, ano? Ayan po ang aking pinagkakaabalahan ng mga lisensya. But of course, these are really interconnected, lalong-lalo na yung mga nasa member nating nasa NREA Metro Rizal, ano? So all of those are professions are pwede na maging member natin dito sa NREA. So as mentioned, lagi naman tayong kakabahan kaya pag nakita po natin tong results are out, masayang-masaya na tayo or magmumukmuk tayo sa isang tabi, no? Pero si Sir Juan yata pagkakita yan hindi kinabahan kasi alam niya na he will be a board passer, you know? And pag ito naman na nakita natin, Rev, very soon, ano? Parang, ano ba, nanginginig na or nagpapanik na and everything. Talagang gagawin mo na lahat. Manonood ka ng sine para makalimutan mo na lalabas na pala yung ating result ng ating April 16 yata ang examination date if I'm not mistaken, ano? So, naranasan mo ba yan, Ma'am Merit Tess? Ano bang ginawa mo noon?
Yes, sir.
Hindi, I'm so happy for you, ano? Kaya talagang ikaw rin ang idol namin dito sa Metro Rizal. So, as a review, ito na yung mga uniform na dapat isusuot natin, ano, for the male and female. At alam naman natin, white t-shirt, ano, that sa female naman, anything na white din on the top, then syempre mas relax yung tipong uh, pants, ano. Sabi nung iba, mas okay talagang minsan may gagamit pa yata ng pampaswerte nila, yung ginamit yata sa pampakasal eh. Sabi ko naman, baka naman madumihan. Itabi-tabi mo muna yan. Yung medyo relax lang. So, what do I mean with this? Ano? Siyempre, gusto ko na alala nyo yung transformation ng ganyan yung suot nyo nung kayo ay nasa examination at paglabas ng exam, ano? Eto na kayo ngayon. Napaka-decente, no? As in talagang hindi natin pakapi-kapi na lang, patawag-tawag na lang. And of course, either si broker yan, or si architect, or even si engineer, no? So, yan na matatawag sa inyo. Sir broker, sir engineer, ma'am architect. And so, I'm Architect Jess. I'm the Executive Vice President of Enrea Metro Rizal, and happy talaga na to serve at sobrang enjoy ako dito sa association natin dahil talagang we are one family, ano? And recently, nakita natin, ano, hindi lang makakapagsuot ka ng formang pang-broker or formang pang-architect, makikita mo pa si Mayor Vico Soto. We are really inspired by this session. I collaborate with him, lalong-lalo na po we tell him kung ano yung vision ng ating organization and how we can help the city of Pasig and a good governance, ano? So we continue to be Enrea Metro Rizal e-learning hub, I was grateful na napaunlakan po ako na maging isang partner dito sa inyong lecture series. Hindi. 3 part for the general fundamentals, special and technical knowledge, and professional practice. So, yung aking topic is maghahalo-halo na dyan. Ano? Of course, in sa professional practice, makikita nyo how will you deal with the situational items. And then, Sir Juan, I believe you have distributed yung ating mga materials to them. Yung bang ganun ba? O na later part mo pa siya ma-distribute?
Yes, architect. Later part po, kapag nakapag-provide din sila ng email address. Kaya nga po, commercial lang, makisend na rin po ng email address. Mag-send po kami ng lecture for today and additional materials for PD 957 and BP 220.
So thank you so much. Ayan, ano, parang nuggets nyo yan. At least habang you're on the road or ano, makakabisado nyo itong mga numbers na to, lalong-lalo na pagka memorization with 220 and 957. So, as mentioned, refresh lang tayo and relearn sa ating mga nandiritong broker na, no? So, tingnan natin baka they can share some insights on how to deal with at alam ko naman na they are familiar with our lecture na, no? So, as mentioned, BroTech, no? Bakit ba? It's a compliance framework. So, I developed this 7-letter word na dapat matandaan natin, and it will really help you on your practice, ano? We will empower the brokers to think beyond sales, building smarter, selling better. Yung bang tipong ang ginagawa ng ating mga broker, hindi lang nagtutour guide or nag-pitch lang ng kanyang mga sales strategy, but rather nag-i-inspect din siya on the matter na syempre tatanungin talaga siya ng kanyang client dahil nga may importanteng malalaman dun sa kanyang binebentang property. So as a disclaimer, all property rights remain with the rightful owners. Ano? Siyempre po, meron tayo dito mga ilang materials na ipe-present sa inyo. And then, for my objectives is to understand the zoning, the floor area ratio in real estate. Madali lang po, ano? Learn simplified compliance concept for brokers and apply the 7-letter word, yung ating BroTech principles in practice. Dahil dito, magkakaroon po kayo ng awareness on green architecture. Mag-advance na tayo, no? Advance na. And its impact. Alam naman natin, mayroon na talagang mga client na naghahanap ng ating mga green architecture. So, as mentioned, well, nakafocus po ako rito sa real estate intersex architecture. Babalik-balikan natin si architecture will intersect real estate. So talaga pong hindi natin mapapaghiwalay yung dalawa na yan. So kung meron pa kayong time, no? 5 years more at pwede naman po kayong mag-aral pa ulit ng architecture for all those who are aspiring to be an architect, ano? So what is BroTech compliance? This is a framework developed to help the brokers protect their clients from risky transaction. Napag-aralan nga natin last GMM, high risk or low risk transaction. So we also combine real estate practice with the key architectural and legal awareness. No? It doesn't mean to replace our technical experts but to work with them smarter. Ibig sabihin, kung hindi naman pa kayo architect or hindi pa naman kayo engineer, at least you have the knowledge. So, ano lang yun, disclaimer lang. Basta baka mamaya naman i-mention nyo na I'm already an architect or I'm already an engineer, pero not po pa dahil hindi pa tayo board passer or talagang professional to be called as an engineer. So, real estate or real property. So alam naman natin yung mga yan, ano? Real estate, pagka meron ng development, anything on the land, attach on it. While the real property, alam naman natin na meron ng propriety rights or may rights na involved po doon. So real estate or real property. So kailangan mention natin yan. Mukhang ano yan, no? Broker examination question po yan. Kaya i-determine nyo talaga what is real estate and real property. So, in this picture, alam naman natin, no? The residential, commercial, industrial, and yun nga, when you have a vacant lot, real estate. Pero pagka meron na tayong mga rights na nandyan on our development, it is real property. So here, BroTech, ano? Hindi naman to yung acronym na broker architect. It is a 7-letter word with different meaning, no? For letter B, we have the building basics, and for the R, we have the regulatory awareness. Yung ating O, syempre tayo yan. We have the ownership and oversight. Meron din tayong ibibigay sa inyo or ipapadefine ng ilang simple technical terms. At of course, dahil nga nasa green architecture na tayo, we have to analyze what are the eco-conscious designs. And we have to protect and give client protection and confidence, that for letter C. And last, yung ating tools and tips for brokers. So I may give tips or tools, pero alam ko yung mga on board na mga broker na rito, mas magagaling pa sa akin at alam ko mas magaganda yung tips nila on how will you be a good broker, lalo na si IPP Dirain. makapagsayaw ng yung kanyang mga reels, no? Napakaganda. So that's are some tips natin for the real estate, soon to be real estate brokers. So building basics overview. In Republic Act RA 9646 or ang ating RESA law, while the Republic Act RA 9266 is for the Architectural Act of 2004. Pareho silang 6, ano? Both laws establish the professional standard, responsibilities, and ethical conduct of practitioners in their respective fields. So meaning parang kung tatandaan niyo po yan, 2009 din na act yan, dahil pareho siyang 9. Kaya most likely magkakaroon na kayo ng idea na halos talagang magkasama lagi itong si architect at si broker. So with the significant overlap in the building basics, site evaluation, design coordination, and legal compliance. Later, mukhang bubugbugin tayo ni Attorney Simbran ng kanyang mga legal laws, Kasi yan ang expertise po niya with the second part ng ating lecture series. So, for the building basics, alam naman natin, building permits ang unang gagawin natin to ensure safety, zoning compliance, and legality. It was being issued by the Office of the Building Official o yung ating tinatawag na building official. Maririnig niyo po, saan ka pupunta? Sa OBO. Sa OBO? Saan yun? So ang acronym po na yun, yung Office of the Building Official. Doon po sinisecure natin ang building permit. Madalas, ang ating mga broker, ina-outsource yan, Ina-outsource, pinapagawa sa iba, nagpapahire pa ng mga third party. Why this matters, Siyempre, pagka yung mga illegal structures natin may affect the sale or mortgage. One example scenario, siyempre, pagka malapit ng mahit or magkaroon na ng closing talaga ang isang ating sale, malaman ng ating buyer na wala palang building permit yung second floor. There an instant na masusunog yung inyong transaction. Nagawa na ba natin yon, Sir Conrad? Meron na bang nasunog tayong transaction dahil wala tayong nalaman ni client na walang building permit yung kanyang bibilin?
So far, sir, wala pa naman po, Arky.
Pero possible,
Possible, Arky. Okay.
Possible, sayang yung sale. So you have to have a good due diligence on it. So eto, medyo mag-inspire tayo dito at alam ko naman makikinig kayo dito sa isang maliit na video I prepared for you.
Ano nga ang permit? Meron permit. Ilang floors yung in-apply nyo ng building permit? Ilang floors yan, pare?
Sir, ito lang for
Ano una? Permit o construction?
may permit na po. May building permit.
So, kukuha ka ng permit na 4 floors, tapos magtatayo ka ng
Hindi sir,
3,
ito,
4, Boss, hindi yan 6 stories na yan, 7.
5 lang.
Oh, pero yung permit
Yung
ko 4.
sir, for for natin na natin yung
Okay, so walang permit yung 5th floor niyan. Oh, malinaw sinasabi niya walang permit yung 5th floor. In-applyan nila 4 floors, itong building pa lang po ito, hindi pa kasama itong mga to. Bakit ganun ang nangyari?
Ina-apply na po namin sir.
Pare, compliance ka, dapat marunong ka. Ano una, permit o construction? Ano na una, permit o construction? Familiar ka sa building code? Compliance officer ka? Anong offense po yun? Di ba criminal offense yun? O, so, ngayon, kailangan ko kayo kasuhan. Kundi hindi ko ginagawa trabaho ko. Ito, may permit na to, wala.
Ongoing na po sir.
Ano una dapat, pare? Construction o permit?
Permit po.
Ito, ano na una? Construction o permit?
Construction.
Oo, malinaw wala akong, di natin hinaharas doon. Lumalabag kayo sa batas. Sana
Ayan. So, hindi na ako nagsasabi Ano ang una? Permit o construction? Everyone, anong una? Permit o construction? You can unmute po. Permit o construction?
Permit po.
Permit po.
Permit.
Permit. Kung hindi, ang mangyayari, criminal offense, no? Sabi ni Mayor Vico Soto. So no building permit, no construction. So baka bibigyan ko lang kayo ng konting hit. Medyo pagka nakita nyo po yung pinamilyar nyo yung sarili nyo doon sa surroundings, alam nyo po yan kung sinong, anong, anong building po yan. Kaninong building po yan. So, hindi na po ako magsasalita. No? Tingnan nyo na lang po yung background. So, yan po yung ating medyo pinagmulan ng ating lahat, ng ating regodon. Dahil dito sa ganitong sitwasyon, naungkat ang lahat. So, as mentioned, magiging mahigpit na ang ating mga regulator on this type of permitting or this compliance. Yan po yung 5-story ng ating St. Gerald contractor. So, alam na yun so mismong silang mga expert or sabihin natin na talagang quadruple A contractor, nasilat pa, no? Paano pa yung mga broker na kasama natin? So, meaning, ito yung ating common permit pitfalls to watch out for, ano? Alam naman natin na maraming misdeclared use, residential gagamitin. And then ng bahay or ng residential, pero ang hawak-hawak, fence only permit. Fence lang po yung fencing permit po ang hawak-hawak. So that is a violation. Criminal offense agad, ano? So, meron naman tinatawag na nakatira na pala, wala namang occupancy permit. Yari din, sabi nga ni Sir Conrad, yari. So, for the zoning and floor area ratio, ito naman yung tinatawag natin kailangan medyo kabisado natin or meron tayong familiarity with the zoning as part ng ating legal know-how dun sa ating mga binebenta. So, pagka medyo alam nyo po yung zoning ng inyong binebentang property, alam mo kung saan mo siya may re-recommend for a construction or development. It can be a residential, commercial, or mixed use. Sa floor area ratio naman po, alam natin na ito, nagkakaroon tayo ng hardship na hindi natin alam paano basahin yung floor area ratio. So, simple lang naman po yung floor area ratio. No? So, dinidivide lang naman po yung buildable area dun sa lot area. So, makukuha nyo po doon is a whole number. So, malalaman nyo po doon kung ilang palapag ang allowable na structure doon. Of course, meron din yung tinatawag na sa Rule 7 and 8, yung ating zoning. Kung meron po siyang R1, R2, or C1, C2, and so on and so forth. So, mention natin na madadagdagan yung ating value as being a broker dahil marunong tayo magkaroon ng mga ganitong explanation. So, nabe-verify natin kung tama talaga yung ibebenta natin or nabenta natin. And then, because of this, may trust na sa'yo si client. So, these are, yung how would you compute the floor area ratio? Bibigay naman po yan ni Sir Juan at you can have it as your review material. So, meron pong simple 4 steps yung ating floor area ratio. So, as mentioned, ano ba yung zoning? Ano ba yung zoning? Bakit ba laging zoning ang pinag-uusapan? So, zoning is the division of the community into districts. So, maririnig nyo po yung CLUP, yung CDP. So, yan po yung ginagawa ng ating mga LGUs na piniprepare, piniprepare po nila yan para malaman po yung development ng ating mga munisipyo or city. It is zoning, maximize, regulate, and direct their use and development according to their CLUP in consideration at the present and potential use of land. So, yung mga planner natin, yung mga nasa MPDO or CPDO, yan po yung kanilang expertise. Nagkakaroon po sila ng mga planning and then nire-recommend kay sanggunian, and through the mayor na ito yung magiging mai-impose nating zoning ordinance. No, so madalas nakakakita po kayo ng ganitong mga colors, ano? Once nakakita po kayo ng pula, it is for commercial. Once for the yellow, residential. Kung ano yung nakikita yung dominant doon, lalong-lalo na po pag nakakita kayo ng pula, highly urbanized city po siya, no? Kasi konti lang yung mga green niya doon, yung production. So makikita nyo naman yung mga green pag nasa ano na po kayo, nasa mga 6 to third class municipality. So very vital po yan na malaman nyo po yan para pagka nakakita po kayo ng ganitong zoning map, malalaman nyo yung property nyo saan located. So medyo blurred lang ko ng konti, apology for that. Pero pagka binigay po sa inyo ni Sir Juan, yan po makikita nyo na mas maayos. So technically, this zoning is a combination, meron siyang sa periphery na green or yung ating agricultural, but on the center or the middle of the development is red, kaya malamang din ang kanyang commercial zone. So yung kanyang violet naman po, yan po yung ating industrial. So as mentioned, sino-sino ba yung mga nasa building permit na agency? Alam naman natin na si DILG or yung ating munisipyo, DILG po ang nakakasakop dyan. And then for the Office of the Building Official, si DPWH po yan. And then the ICT and DTI pagka magkakaroon na po kayo ng mga business permit. So si OBO po is under the Office of DPWH. Ang boss niya po si Department of Public Works and Highway Secretary. Hindi niya po boss si Mayor. Yun po ang nakatalaga sa kanya na nandun lang po siya nag-oopisina sa LGU pero he is under the DPWH. So as mentioned, pag nakakita na po kayo ng ganitong section 301, yan po yung makikita nyo sa notices nyo na pinatitigil kayo at ang nakalagay po doon ay lumabag kayo sa section 301 of the National Building Code. It reads that no person, firm or corporation, including any agency or instrumentality of the government shall, ibig sabihin po nun, mandatory, obtaining a building permit. So maliwanag po yan. Question, meron po ba kayong tanong before I proceed?
Arky, may question po.
Yes, Sir Conrad.
Yes, Arky, yung zoning ordinance po ba, may mga cities po ba na mahirap kunin yun or kailangan pa po ng approval ni Mayor? Paano po ba yun?
Of course, lahat yon ay na-transpose na once na naging zoning ordinance na po siya. Beforehand kayo mag-apply ng inyong building permit, meron tinatawag na locational clearance. So, i-evaluate po yun ng municipal MPDO once na it is municipal, pagka naman city po, CPDO. So, magkakaroon po kayo ng zoning certificate pagka na-approvehan po yung inyong project or development. So, hindi naman po siya mahirap kunin kasi part po siya ng compliance natin for the development. So, mahihirapan po kayo pagka hindi po aligned sa kanilang zoning ordinance yung dinidevelop nyong project. Nakalagay dun sa kanyang zoning map, residential lang, tatayuan mo ng industrial, sigurado, X po yon. X agad yon. So, hindi po mangyayari yon na kayo po ay bibigyan ng. Otherwise, ang gagawin po doon ay magkakaroon po kayo ng tinatawag na variance or exemption, mag-a-apply po kayo kay Zoning Board of Appeals. Pero wag nyo na pong gawin yon kasi kung katulad ng ganun ng senaryo, residential tapos po lalagyan nyo ng industrial. Pwede po yon yung tipong mga residential, medyo merong slight commercial. Pwede po mabigyan yon. Pero yung masyado po yung madedeflect or iba talaga po yung purpose at talaga namang masisira po yung kanilang zoning, hindi po papayagan yon. So there are two ways, yung zoning variance or magkakaroon po kayo ng exemption. So dalawang pwede po. Kaya lang medyo it will take time dahil nga magkakaroon po pa yun ng sanggunian resolution. Clear po?
Clear po, Arky. Thank you po.
Thank you. So yan na po ha. So kanina pinag-usapan natin yung 301. So ngayon makikita nyo naman 309. So anong ibig sabihin nun naman yung 309? This is particularly for the certificate of occupancy permit, certificate of occupancy. So it reads that no building or structure shall be occupied and no change in the existing or use of occupancy classification of a building or structure or a person thereof shall be made until the building official has issued certificate of occupancy. Meaning, wala pong titira doon sa ginagawa niyong building or ginawa niyong bahay pag hindi pa ho kayo nabigyan ng certificate of occupancy. Nakakalimutan po ito ng madalas ng mga property owner na hindi na nila ina-apply yung certificate of occupancy. But it is under Section 309 of NBCP or PD 1096, hindi po pwedeng tirahan, kahit sa inyo pa ho yun. Siyempre, ititingnan po ng building official kung nag-comply po kayo dun sa dinesign ng mga architects and engineers based on the submitted plans na approve nila. Kung meron naman pong mga deviation doon, pwede naman din, basta naman po you will have it approved yung as-built plan at na-monitor nila ano ba yung binago. Kasi there are times na meron talagang pagbabago during the construction. But kung sobra pong malaki ang deviation ng binago nyo, medyo mahihirapan to to comply with dahil nga ibang-iba yung nangyari. So, 301, 309. Tandaan nyo po yan kasi yan yung madalas na binibigay po ng inyong violation. So, 10,000 po ang violation pag wala po kayong building permit and 10,000 din po pag wala rin kayong occupancy or depende po yung rate na pwede pang gawin ni OBO or sampahan kayo ng criminal offense. So ito naman po, medyo segue lang pero para hindi po tayo mahaba, sa fire naman, yung ating FSEC and FSIC. Yung FSEC po, yung Fire Safety Evaluation Clearance, sa umpisa pa lang ho yan, before the construction begin, and pagka natapos na po, meron namang Fire Safety Inspection Certificate na ini-issue. Huwag po kayong matakot sa bumbero, sabi nga nila. Pero ang totoo po niyan, matakot kayo sa kanilang fee, yung kanilang fee. Kasi mas mataas yung kanilang fee at talagang yung kanilang power, kaya nilang ipasara yung establishment if you do not comply with our Republic Act 9514 and its revised implementing rules and regulation. So, ano po yan Medyo ingatan nyo po yan dahil sila po talaga ang mas madalas nakikita nyo sa site or dun sa inyong establishment dahil mandated talaga po sila na inspeksyonin yung mga establishment. So kahapon, sobrang laki po. Task Force Bravo yung ating naganap na sunog sa Mia Road. While sa Binangonan naman po, yung public market, ubos, yung Binangonan public market. So very important po yung ating mga regulatory na yan. So I'm emphasizing this kasi syempre dapat nalalaman ng ating mga broker and soon to be broker kung ano ang talagang sitwasyon. So, tatanungin pa ba natin what is a building permit? Alam naman po siguro ng mga broker yan. So, as a review, syempre yung ating building permit is the permit na kailangan mong i-secure before building or you're developing a structure, ano? So, requirement po talaga siya na kayo po ay mag-secure po muna ng inyong building permit. So, you need a building permit because you want to comply with the proper construction of your house or your building. So, ano ba yung mga types ng building permit? Iba't ibang klaseng building permit. Merong residential, commercial, revision, at even yung gigibain mo pa lang yung bahay nyo or magkakaroon kayo ng ibang activity doon dahil mas mali ang ego. Ayun. So, meron pong demolition permit. You have to apply for a demolition permit. So, ano-ano ba yung mga permit requirements? So, daanan lang natin yung building permit requirements. Lagi pong nakalagay dyan, 5. Meron po ako na interview minsan sa ating estudyante or sa ibang ibang kasamang broker or real estate practitioner. Iba-iba po yung sinasabi nila about number of sets ng ating compliant. So, as mentioned po, meron po naman talagang gagawin yan. So, may checklist po sa mga iba't ibang LGU, ibibigay nila what are the requirements. Pero as standard po ng ating PD 1096, 5 sets po ng plano. So, 5 sets po ng plano. Meron po ring structural design analysis, meron din naman pong seismic analysis, and soil test. So, importante yan. So, that's for the technical. So, saan papasok si ating mga broker? So, kailangan alam ng broker paano mag-secure ng certified true copy. Yung alam naman natin saan sinisecure ang ating certified true copy, ang ating tax declaration, ang ating tax receipt, and also kailangan po kayo mag-secure ng tax clearance. Kung wala naman po kayong, hindi naman po sa inyo yung lot, nililis nyo lang, pwede nyo pong patayuan pa rin yun. So, you have to have a notarized contract of lease. At kung hindi pa naman po natatransfer yon, pwede naman po kayong magtayo doon, provided meron na pong contract of sale, notarized din. So, yung affidavit of consent with the lot owner, importante rin po yun. Kasi iba po yung may-ari ng lote, iba po rin yung may-ari ng building. So, meron ding bill of materials, specification, and so forth. So, as mentioned, ito yung mga step by step. Kung gusto nyo po talagang i-memorize yan, pwede naman din. Kaya lang, we'll go forward dun sa ating parang roadmap, yung pinaka paano po siya talaga i-secure yung ating building permit. So, ito na po, mas madaling i-analyze. So, first, comply nyo po na muna yung mga requirements nyo, and then ipa-receive nyo siya dun sa Office of the Building Official together with the complete checklist po niyan, and then i-issuehan po kayo ng endorsement to apply for EPSEC kay BFP para po dalhin kay BFP po yan, and then babalik po ulit sa kanila, mag-a-apply na kayo ng zoning. So after the zoning, papasok na po yung iba't iba pang agency, like the land use, civil, electrical, mechanical, sanitary, plumbing, electronics, and all others. So importante rin po, lalo na pagka bago po yung inyong development, meron na po dapat yan survey. Sino gumagawa ng survey? Si geodetic engineer po. Sign and seal. Diyan po yung maliit na 15 by 20 on the first part ng inyong application. Nandun po siya. So makikita yung technical description at na sign and sealed ni geodetic engineer. And then meron din pong kasamang certification si geodetic engineer. Very important din po yan. Dati lang Xerox copy or blueprint lang yung binibigay ni geodetic engineer. Ngayon po, sign and sealed at meron na po silang certification. So who are the professionals involved in the application ng building permit? So yung atin pong mga architect, once for the architectural plans, for the structural, si structural engineer or the civil engineer. Sa ating electrical naman po, we have the PEE o yung professional electrical engineer. For the plumbing plans, you have the master plumber or the sanitary engineer. Yung mechanical plans naman po, yan yung mga air conditioning and all others. Yung PME naman, professional mechanical engineer. While on the electronic plans, so ito naman po yung mga CCTV nyo and all other gadget na kailangan ma-incorporate doon sa inyong plano, kailangan nyo pong magpa-sign and seal kay professional electronics engineer. Pagka po professional, sila lang po ang pwedeng mag-design. Pagka yung inyo pong nakuwang professional ay registered electrical engineer or registered mechanical engineer, they are not allowed to sign and seal the plans. Pwede naman po sila mag-supervise. So meron po dong in charge for construction. Sila po ang mag-sign doon. Kasi iba yung sa design box, iba naman yung po sa supervision box. So an overview lang po, ito po yung Unified Application Building Permit. Madali lang po naman po to fill up. Okay, si broker, pagka nakapag-start up na mag-apply nito, kaya niya po itong i-fill up. Pero minsan naman, si architect or si engineer ang nagpi-fill up nito and then i-transpose kay owner dahil siya na po ang maglalakad ng application ng kanyang building permit. So does the building permit expired? Anyone? May makakasagot po ba na yung building anymore? Baka meron pang ibang guess or na basa niya. Part 2 ng madalas medyo natatanong din to, nasa segue sa exam, Baka po kaya niyong sagutin. So, yes, the building permit expired. So, for the building permit, hindi siya nag-commence ng 1 year after the issuance. So, tama naman po yun, kaya lang ang kanyang expiration dahil hindi po siya nagsimula. So, paano masasabi doon na hindi nagsimula? Kasi na-monitor ng OBO na yung inyong construction ay nabigyan kayo ng permit pero hindi gumalaw or walang activity after the issuance of the building permit, expired po siya 1 year. So, meron naman ding senaryo na after 120 days na suspend yung inyong construction, hindi nyo rin siya sinabihan si building official or yung opisina na suspend. So 120 days since the last activity ng inyong construction, hindi nyo po sinabihan, yon po rin, expired din ang inyong building permit. So to scenario po, yan po ang mangyayari. So meron bang pagkakataon na hindi ka mabigyan ng building permit? Of course, meron po. At madalas, meron pong denial. Mandali lang po, excuse lang. For a while, 2 minutes water break. 2 minutes water break, Sir Juan. Okay lang?
Yes po, Architect. 2 minutes water break po muna tayo. 2:02 p.m. Thank you.
So, let's proceed po ulit, ano? Let's proceed. Auto na ba, Sir Juan? Yan. So, welcome again to our webinar. So, information overload, building permit pa lang, building basics, regulatory compliance, ang pilang pinag-uusapan pa natin, ano? So, these are mga practical din at syempre strategies din na you can learn on this compliance, ano? Marami kasing mga sobrang haka-haka or nabubuong mga ang hirap pala mag-apply ng building permit, ang hirap pala mag-apply ng occupancy permit. But of course, kailangan po natin yan ma-internalize at malaman natin why is it so. So, merong times talaga na inyong application ng building permit ay madi-disapprove. So, huwag nyo na pong pilitin si Office of the Building Official or yung kausap nyo po ay magkaroon po kayo ng mga ilang misunderstanding sa inyong compliance, lalong-lalo na pagka pumasok na yung sinasabing nahirapan na kayo, ano ba pwede nating gawin. Ano? Do not do that po. Subukan po natin i-comply kung ano pa yung dapat i-comply at be guided by the technicals na sila naman po yung authority doon. So, let's proceed with the oversight and ownership. So, with these 3 A's, yung ating authority, authorship, and accountability. Tayo ba yung authority? Tayo ba yung author? At syempre, tayo yung accountable. So, both in architectural and real estate practices, ano? Parehas din po yan. Kung ano po yung sinabi natin, ano rin yung diniscuss natin, kailangan very specific po tayo dahil magkakaroon po tayo ng ating paglabag sa ating ethics. No? So under RA 9266 and RA 966 licensed professionals as the rightful authors work. O pagka hindi naman, pagka kay engineer po yan, kay engineer. Pag kay electrical, kay electrical po nyo ipasign or sa kanila po ipadesign. Huwag na po kayong maghanap ng ibang professional. Yung sasabihin na sinasabi na papapirma lang naman ako eh. Remember, 15 years po ang nakasalalay na liability ng ating mga professional under the civil code, ano? 15 years po, hindi lang natatapos 'yun sa pagpirma, pag nagkaroon po ng problema, liable pa po ang ating mga professional. So your client trusts you to protect their interests. Pag example nga, no, selling a house with a second floor but without a permit. May risk ba? Talaga bang kailangan malaman ko, architect, na yung ibebenta ko may permit? Of course, meron po yun, lalong-lalo na minsan po nakausap ako ng isang bank appraiser na merong tax liability yung kanyang binibenta. So lahat po nung tax liability, lilinisin muna po nung ating appraiser na pababayaran po kay borrower para po maging pagkaroon ng problema with the loans, hindi po mai-incur doon sa bangko. Ibig sabihin, tapos po na kumbaga sa cleared po yung property for the liability. So, part po ako ng Action Colorum Movement, pero as discussed nung aming last GMM, so wag po tayong under Section 29, no person shall offer himself as a real estate service practitioner. So, kailangan lisensyado po ang pinagdidilan nyo, no? Yung nagka-transaction nyo po. License, real estate broker, consultant, and salesperson. So, ayan po yung mga ilang activity namin na nakapag-file tayo sa ilang complaints sa ating Region 4A sa DSUD po. So I'm inviting you kung meron po kayong mga kakilala na broker, you want to step forward, join us sa ating pong Action Colorum Movement. So may mga ina-advocate po kami na mga ilang um, ilang series na nagkakaroon po kami ng mga meetings sa kanila. This was been sampled with Attorney Randy Esculang, nung nandyan pa po siya sa DSUD. Pero ngayon po, nalipat na po siya. So yan lang naman po, like, comment, and share. Pwede nyo po yan bisitahin yung ating FB page. So as mentioned, dahil nga hindi kailangan pwedeng mag-overlap, kung kay architect, kay engineer, kung kay engineer, kay architect. Hindi pwedeng ganon. So pagka license ang profession ng pinag-uusapan, definitely architectural permit kay architect. So ito po yung isang natapos na issue with the architects and engineer. So en banc resolution po yan at ano na po ang Supreme Court. Before kasi yung lahat po ng ginagawa ng napapractice ng Office of the Building Official, nakakapirma po yung civil engineer sa architectural permit. So ngayon hindi na po, So some of the sequence, paano ba natatranspose yung project, Siyempre, you have the client and then tatawag ka ng arkitekto to design or solve the problem. Siyempre, hindi lang naman kasama ni architect ay iisa. So, lahat po sila ay kasama, si structural engineer, si mechanical electrical engineer, and so on and so forth, as mentioned kanina. So, they are the consultants. And sana rito, si real estate professional, makasama na rin natin. Kaya, I wish na ma-develop yung ganong collaboration dahil kay real estate, syempre, doon magsisimula yung project naman talaga. Pagka si architect hindi well-versed sa mga transaction about real estate, medyo magkakaroon ng ilang gray items, So, this is our next yung terminologies natin, yung ating architecture, the art and science of profession of planning, designing, and constructing buildings in their totality. So si architect, hindi yan po pa-drawing-drawing lang. Sinasabi, mahal naman ng singil ni architect, pa-drawing-drawing lang, Hindi naman po siguro ganun yung magiging perception dapat ng ating mga client. So there are three things, meron pong iba't ibang classification si architect. Meron pong architect of record, merong architect in charge of the construction, and meron din tinatawag na consulting architect. Si architect of record, sila po yung nag-design. Sila po yung gumawa ng design na unang sinelyuhan doon sa blueprint. So once naman doon nag-sign si architect in charge of the construction, yun naman po yung sa supervision box. So maaaring magkaiba si architect 1 tsaka si architect 2 dahil hindi naman po siya yung nag-design pero siya naman yung magsusupervise. Yun yung hinire ni client para po gawin yung kanyang mga project. So si consulting architect naman, yung madalas na nakukonsulta when there are some good afternoon everyone. Kindly send here. Ayun. So pagka meron po kayong tawag rito question, lagay nyo lang sa chat box. Sagutin po natin yan later. So yung ating consulting architect naman, pagka medyo difficulty na po yung pinag-uusapan or may specialization needed, pwede po tayong sumangguni sa highest profession ng architect dahil mas expert po sila doon. So ganun din sa ating real estate, there are review, yung ating 4 professionals, si real estate consultant, si real estate assessor, pag sa government po, yung market value na pinag-uusapan, and then yung appraiser naman, once na nasa private, while on the kasama natin sa pag-unlad ng mga broker, yung ating real estate salesperson, a duly registered and licensed natural person who for a professional fee, compensation, or whether valuable consideration. Isang broker, 20 salesperson. Yan, soon to be broker. So now, ito na yung pinag-uusapan natin. Baka po makakita kayo ng mga buildings or nagkaka-interest na yung client about the eco-conscious design. So the eco-conscious design is also known as sustainable or environmental responsible design. This is an approach in architecture, planning, or product development that prioritize the health of the planet, resource efficiency, and human well-being. Pag sinabi bang eco-conscious design na tinatawag na green architecture, yung pinuntahan mo ba yung iyong building ng green, meron na siyang green architecture? Yung bang nagkaroon ka lang ng mga ilang vegetation dun sa iyong building, you really have the green architecture application? So tingnan natin, ano? So this time, ayaw naman natin na lahat ng ating sasakyan ay puro solar panels ang nasa ibabaw at hindi na natin nakilala dahil nga pinapractice natin yung emission ng carbon footprint at dahil nga magtataas yung ang ating energy ngayon, kukuha na lang tayo sa haring araw para sa ating mga pangangailangan with electric, ano? So ayan yung ating mindset na pagka naka-solar panel ka, green architecture na ba? Sustainability na ba? So alam naman natin, after this, nagkaroon na po ng mga difficulty na saan mapupunta itong sobra-sobrang solar panels na ito, paano madidispose, part ng ating problema within sa ating sustainability. Kasi hindi naman yan pwedeng i-destruct lang or itapon kung saan-saan dahil may mga emissions din po yan, ano, sa paano siya nagawa. As mentioned, green building, lagyan mo ng mga vegetation, green architecture na siya. So green building for everyone within this generation. Alam naman natin na meron na tayong mga iba't ibang green building certification. The LEED, the Verde, and all, yung mga WELL. So pagka nagkaroon po tayo ng inatenan natin, lalo-lalo na yung mga inatenan po ni NREA Metro Rizal, ano? Si Artaland, yung developer na ito, talaga pong nakafocus on the green building. Halos lahat ng kanyang development are green certified, ano? LEED certified. So ano-ano ba yung mga demand or nagtitrigger sa ating green building? Siyempre, meron tayong client demand, meron din tayong environmental regulations, at siyempre, tinitingnan natin kung healthy ba yung buildings. Hindi naman yung tipong merong stethoscope, ano? So, meron yan tipong, meron po siyang mga checklist, paano niya po nababawasan yung mga energy doon sa building na yon through lighting, air conditioning, mechanical, plumbing. So gagamit ka ng mga ilang materials on how you will be energy efficient. So yun po yung ating green building. So what are the benefits of the green building? Siyempre, nagkakaroon po tayo ng decreased operating cost. Kung yung green building ay designed to accept ng mga passive cooling, hindi ka na mas gagamit ng mga sobrang dami ng mga mechanical ventilation. Of course, magkakaroon ka ng added value. Yan na nga. Pagka alam ni broker na green building certified yung kanyang binibenta, high-end, ano? Sasabihin, mahal yata yan, ah. Of course, i-differentiate nyo. Ano yung magiging pros, ano yung magiging cost. So there are short payback periods, ano? Dahil nagpa-practice nga ng green building in yung property, baka nalilimit na yung pagbili nyo ng energy kay Meralco. So as mentioned, yung ating green, healthier indoor environments. So these are the principles na pwedeng masabi natin na nagkaroon tayo ng green building. So you do the energy efficiency, the water conservation, even yung pagpili po ng mga materyales, yung sustainable materials dapat. And then, yun pinag-usapan natin, indoor air quality and health benefits. So even yung pagsalo ng tubig ulan, rainwater harvesting, de-develop na po kayo ng sustainability doon dahil nagre-recycle na tayo ng tubig. Dahil sinalo natin yung tubig ulan, pwede natin magamit for the second use, ano? Yung mga hindi naman kailangan maging potable. So what are the roles of the real estate developers and investors? So as mentioned, green real estate development strategies, nag-aaral na sila niyan or talagang pinapractice na. Siyempre, nagsiselect din po tayo ng mga site selection and urban planning for sustainability, yung ating mga PUDs, yung planned unit development. Saan ba magandang ilagay dito? Ilang percentage ba yung open area? Kung gagawin mo lang laging sa 70-30 ang iyong ratio, baka naman pwedeng 60-40 para naman talaga makahingay-hingay yung development. And then the financial considerations and the return of investment, yan po yung mga pinag-uusapan ng ating mga developers and investors. So as mentioned, ayan po, simple illustration na paano makakapagkaroon ng mga sustainability or yung ating green architecture. So sa pagpili nga ng ating mga materials, inaalam natin yung mga thick and well insulated walls kasama, no? So maraming pwedeng gawin na activity or design para po magkaroon kayo ng application ng green architecture. Time check, Sir Juan, okay pa ako? All good?
Yes, architect. Opo.
All good. Thank you.
Next session is 3 p.m. po. So,
Okay.
pwede pa po mag-proceed.
Sige. Thank you. So, for the client protection and confidence, the client protection and confidence refers to the responsibility of the professionals, especially in architecture, real estate, planning, and construction, to uphold transparency, integrity, and legal compliance. So, as mentioned, wag po tayo magsasabi ng magtatago ng mga information kay client para yung ating integrity, yung ating value, talagang confidence si property owner na tama yung sinelect niyang real estate professional. Dahil with that, meron tayong repeat client, no? So, tools and tips for real estate brokers. So, as mentioned, mas alam ko naman po yung mga iba pang mga millennials yan, yung mga Gen Z. How will you do your transaction kung paulit-ulit lang yung mga ginagawa on the posing, strategies. So ngayon, meron ng mga iba't ibang platform, ano? In today's competitive and fast-paced property market, real estate broker must go beyond traditional selling. Ako yata sa 10 years kong brokerage, parang bilang ko sa daliri ko po yung nabenta ko. 10 years na akong broker pero bilang ko sa daliri yung nabenta ko. Mukhang hindi yata ako magaling magbenta dahil alam ko traditional lang pala yung alam kong selling activity ko. So, yun ang kailangan natin gawin. We have to master other resources not only enhances productivity but also builds trust, drives conversations, and ensures compliance with the law. So ito lang yung magiging impart ko sa aking mga client na talagang compliant po tayo. So ito yung mga pwede na nga nating maging tips sa kanila, laging i-encourage sa ating mga broker, no, na alamin yung building permit, occupancy permits, yung local zoning classification, maintain a network for architect and processors and other collaborators. So, wag pong matakot sa arkitekto at sa mga engineer. Keep a compliance checklist, yung title, tax deck, zoning permit, and etc. So, as mentioned, wag sana mangyari na magkaroon tayo ng mga ganito na nasa huli ang pagsisisi dahil nag-back out ang ating client dahil nalaman niya na hindi tayo compliant. So, for the, how many percent ba, Sir Juan, ang mga reviewees natin dito? 50%?
Opo, we can do a consensus.
Mm-hmm.
So, ayun nga po. For the review is, let us type number 1 sa chat.
Sige nga. Kinakabahan na kasi ako. 1. From Joe to everyone. Joe, B. 1. Arlene Adora. 1. Future broker. Edric
Correct.
Blanca. Yan. 1.
And I'm very sure po na mayroon din na hindi lang nagchat-chat.
Yeah. So yung mga number 2 naman, yung mga broker na, no?
Tama
Broker
po.
na.
For brokers or yung, ayun nga po, yung real estate service professionals, kindly type
Sir
2.
Noel. Yan. So, thank you so much. At hope this session
Oo
meron
nga
kayo.
po. Thank you for participating.
So tingnan natin. Sabi nga natin, ito na yung pagkakataon nila na first and last take ng broker examination. Ayaw nating mag-take 2. Pero dahil kasama niyo po kami magdadasal na you will pass the broker examination on April 16, ano? Congratulations na po in advance. And sana po pag nagkita-kita tayo, ganito na po ang suot nyo, mga brokers and appraisers. Yan na, hindi na kayo naka-uniform lang ng white with collar, naka-blazer na talaga. So thank you for listening, Soon Brokers of 2026. That's end my presentation. And if you would like to collaborate with me, these are my numbers. Ayan po, marireach nyo po ako. Nandyan lang po ako sa tabi-tabi. At sana po magkita-kita tayo sa ibang projects and iba pang future na wag naman ano ba? Ako ba yung bibili o ako yung magbebenta, Sir Sir Conrad? Ayan. So ayan po yung ating references, yung ating 1096, 9514, Anti-Red Tape Act, and the Local Government Code. So, I'll stop share, Sir Juan, If you have a question, pwede po. Wag lang po love life. Si Sir Stewart, sabi, yung estudyante ko dun sa tandem, nag-report, magjowa Ang saya sa amin dun sa Gardner By the way,
Okay. That was Architect Jess Chua. This opportunity. Okay. Everyone, please open your cameras and let's do this post. Ayun nga po. Enrea Metro Rizal number 1. So, number 1 po. Si Prof. Conrad, VPI Conrad, can you please assist with the screenshot po?
Yes, PRO, I'd be happy to.
Give the go signal na lang po.
Wait, ano ka lang po? Pa-open na lang po ng camera. Wait lang po. Okay, wait. Yun. Okay, doon po sa mga maki-open na lang po ng camera, please. Okay, sige. 1, 2, 3.
Enrea Metro Rizal,
Okay,
number 1.
sorry PRO. Next, ano po? Next. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you po. Taken, PRO.
So, do you have
Opo,
any question?
once again, this is our Q&A portion na po, no?
Mhm.
For Architect Jess regarding his topic, the ProTech, the elevating real estate through architectural awareness.
IPP, you have question? Bagong,
Pa? Bakit
All
ako?
smile.
Opo, ah,
Inuhuli mo kung nandito pa ako, ha? Actually, meron
idol.
talaga akong lakad. Late na ako, 2:30, I have to leave. Di ko na mapapanood yung 15. Pero yung question ko, most of the time kasi architect tsaka engineer, medyo hindi nagkakasundo yan. I know. Pero when it comes to your topic, are there architects and engineers here? Parang mga brokers yata yung audience natin, ano? Brokers. Okay. How can you help us broker determine if the architect or the contractor that we're dealing with are in compliance with the law of the RESA or building code or whatever in a glass. I know maraming nangyayari, basta benta na lang tayo ng benta. Actually, hindi na natin masyado iniisip yan. Pero are we held liable if ever magkaroon ng problema sa structural or sa in the future do sa project? Thank you.
So, wala naman tayong liable specifically pagka hindi naman yun yung scope ng ating transaction, ano? Lalo na si broker. Of course, ang importante lang, we go deep dive in the due diligence ng ating mga binebenta. For the liability it's per se, of course, pwede naman nating sabihan na parehas tayong biktima, no? Parang gano'n na nangyari.
Yeah.
Dahil we want to have a good reputation din. Kaya lang, it is our on the side na sasama tayo sa nagkaroon tayo na may mga tracking or may good records na developer, ni architects and the engineers or the contractors itself. So, we must also be aware, siguro taasan natin yung leverage ng awareness natin na hindi tayo mapapasama o yung mapapabilang sa mga bogus na transaction. So, imbes na magkaroon tayo ng high-risk transaction, syempre, iwasan natin. I-limit na lang natin yung gano'n. But of course, sir, ethically, pagka merong konting deviation na hindi ka nasabi, there will be some instances. Baka, alam mo naman si client, lahat din gagawin para ma-compensate yung na-loss sa kanya. But of course, dahil we are also honest to ourselves, hindi naman siguro dapat tayo balingan nila. But in our reference, meron tayo dapat talagang awareness to our practice. Mandatory
Thank you.
awareness. Ayan.
Thank you, architect.
Thank you. Ayan. So,
Okay,
more?
any other question? Okay. So wala na po sa ngayon. Pero ako, architect, may gustong i-share lang rin.
Yeah.
Before, nagkaroon kami ng or hindi po kami, kakilala po namin na nagkaroon sila ng transaction tapos nalaman na yung building na somehow warehouse type kasi food park po yun. Nalaman na hindi pa pala napapagawa ng tax deck yung improvement. So eventually, upon yung sa transfer of ownership ng yun nga po yung land and improvement na nakita or rather pinapa-comply pa rin. Parang ang sa akin nga lang po is sana sa umpisa pa lang nag-comply na kaysa yung eto nga po yung sa transfer of ownership ng structure nga po medyo na-delay. Ayun nga po ang napag-usapan kanina yung kay Mayor Vico Soto na tayo muna bago permit. So ano ba talaga?
It's really napakasakit na malaman talaga na yung iyong building hindi compliant because yung pinagbilan mo was not able to secure the occupancy permit. But is there is na transpose yung tax permit. So on the note, on the part ng seller, dapat po yon meron talagang occupancy permit yon dahil may tax declaration yung ating building. So ako po mismo na experience ko po yan, there is a tax declaration sa building pero walang occupancy permit. So ngayon, yung aking client, kami mismo nag-apply ng renovation permit but prerequisite yung ating occupancy permit on the renovation permit. Kasi hahanapin nila talagang may occupancy ba yun. Pero natuwa naman ako, nagkaroon ng tax declaration building yung townhouse. So hindi naman kasalanan ng owner yon dahil na-transpose nga yon. Isa yun, nabitin eh. Ito, nakatuloy ng tax declaration na may tax declaration yung building. So ang binigay na note ng Office of the Building Official, i-comply muna yung occupancy permit bago sila magbigay ng renovation permit. But pinaglaban ng owner, hindi naman niya kasalanan na kasi binili lang niya sa property sa previous owner eh. But ako, ang suggestion ko ngayon, every time na meron po tayong transaction on the sale ng um, house and lot, hingin na natin yung occupancy permit kasi talaga pong safe keep na natin yun na meron talagang kasama yung bentahan ng property na may occupancy permit. Magkakaroon po talaga ng issue when medyo magaling yung compliance officer nila. Kasi walang magagawa si Office of the Building Official dahil hindi naman nangyari sa kanya yung transaction na yon. Sasabihin niya na wala kang occupancy permit eh. So illegal yung pagtira mo dyan.
Tama po. For yung nuggets lang po for our reviewees, correct me if I'm wrong lang po, architect, no? Kapag merong non-declaration of improvement, ang penalty or yung sinasabi niyo pa yung fine is 10 years plus the current year, no, ng real property tax.
Sa building permit 10,000 maximum. Hindi 10 years yung pinag-uusapan na 10,000 yung maximum. So first, second, and third notices, pagka naka-third notices na si building official, patitigil talaga yung trabaho or otherwise gagamit ng police power para kunin yung mga tao na nasa loob ng building kasi ayaw nyo pa rin tumigil eh, no? Kasi alam lang na or kakasuhan na talaga yung property owner dahil naka-third attempt na. So ang pinaka-maximum fine lang talaga is 10,000. 10,000. Kaya medyo tinotolerate nung ibang property owner. Kaya mahirap din na kaya nga sabi ko mas stringent si BFP when it comes to penalty.
Tama. Bale matuloy po yung construction kasi maliit lang naman yung multa.
Oo. So magpapa penalty na lang sila or ang gagawin, tumutuloy sila. Talagang gano'n. Akala nila gano'n.
Tama po. Okay, any other questions po? Okay. That was Architect Jess Chua, our very own EVP po, And then for the awarding, let me call on VP for Internal Affairs, John Conrad Cruz.
May papel pala ako. The certificate of appreciation is proudly presented to our Executive Vice President, Architect Jesus T. Chua, for sharing his invaluable expertise on the topic Protect, elevating real estate through architectural awareness, and for his outstanding support, which significantly contributed to the success of this event. His contribution has greatly enriched the knowledge and professional development of the participants and helped make this learning session meaningful and impactful. Given this 7th day of March 2026, signed Jesus T. Chua, Executive Vice President, and Mary Joy Digo Chanco, Chapter President.
Thank you very much. Pero parang
Thank you very much po.
parang ano no, self-serving yung certificate ako pirma.
Signed by himself.
From the
Screenshot,
chapter by
architect.
the EVP.
Anyway, thank you so much. I hope everybody enjoy the moment at yung refresher lang ano. Hindi talaga ganun ka ano, para lang mas ma-update po tayong lahat.
Tama po. So this has been the session 3 of NREA Metro Rizal e-learning hub success series po, or rather success session. So please do not leave yet pa. Meron pa po si Attorney Tin Simbran later 3 p.m. May option naman po to stay at the Zoom meeting or balik na lang po ng 3 p.m. Ayan. Thank you po.